The Honorable Professor Dr. Insinyur Hamman Riza, MSc IPU, President of KORICA, the Intelligence Industry Research and Innovation Collaboration. The Honorable Mrs. Simrin Singh, Director, ILO Country Office Indonesia and Timor-Leste. The Honorable Heads of UN agencies, representatives of embassies, government officials from Indonesian ministries, APindo, Kadin, international organization, representatives of trade unions and social partners, private sectors, research agencies, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We would like to welcome you to the ILO National Forum on Transforming Indonesian MSMEs with AI, Innovation Strategies and Insight. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industry worldwide, offering unprecedented opportunities for innovations, efficiency, and economic growth. In Indonesia, micro, small, and medium enterprises represent a crucial component of the national economy, contributing significantly to employment, innovation, and development. Recognizing the transformative potential of AI, the International Labour Organization, ILO, Indonesia, is committed to facilitating a deeper understanding of AI implications on labor and employment in Indonesia. Building on success of the previous event, Artificial Intelligence and Indonesian Labor Market, What Future, held on June 20th, 2024, which provided a general overview of the current situation and upcoming event will provide against the backdrop of the Indonesia Long-Term Development Plan 2025-2045 and Medium-Term Development Plan 2025-2029, the opportunity to discuss the extent to which enabling AI elements are embedded within national priorities and will contribute to MSMEs development. As Indonesia prepares for its long-term development plan and medium-term development plan, supporting MSMEs, although also through access, development, and regulation of AI, is essential for fostering economic resilience, innovation, and competitiveness. Discussing the needs for the implication of successful adoption of AI by Indonesian MSME is important to ensure inclusive and sustainability growth and a healthy and vibrant competitiveness in the product and labor market. In addition, a reflection on the necessary elements to ensure that AI allows for inclusive entrepreneurship opportunities, gender equality, and reduce in line with the national development goals, inequality will contribute to highlight critical elements for future policy making. Today's main purpose is to initiate a focused discussion on AI's implication and potential to enhance productivity, innovation, and competitiveness within Indonesian MSMEs, while exploring possible enabling conditions for fair and equal adoption, as well as critical barriers to overcome. The forum aims to identify actionable strategies and foster collaboration among key stakeholders to support AI-driven development. The discussion will frame within the process of drafting the mid and long-term national development plans and consistently with the framework of transformation towards Golden Indonesia 2045. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for our first session today, we would like to invite Mrs. Simrin Singh, Director of ILO Indonesia and Timor-Leste, to deliver her welcoming remarks.
Selamat pagi. Apa kabar? Hope everyone's healthy today. Yes. Good morning. And really a warm welcome to this second in a series of AI and the world of work deep dives forums that the ILO has been organizing. Let me first acknowledge the presence of some wonderful people here. The key actors, the movers and shakers. You will see we invited you very selectively, so we're more than pleased that you all came. So first and foremost, of course, from Corica, Professor Hamman Riza, who's the president. And for those of you that don't know, although I think everyone here probably knows who you are and what you do, you're a collaborative research and industrial innovation on AI in Indonesia. I've been quite the champion and leader for 3 years plus. So thank you so much for being here. And I think your words in the keynote speech will be very inspiring and get our mental energies going on a Wednesday morning. And then, of course, we have a fabulous group of panelists, and I really want to thank them on behalf of ILO for joining and taking up the challenge of talking about a topic that is still a learning by doing process. So first and foremost, we have Bapak Julius. Bapak Julius is here from the deputy. He's a deputy for the Micro Businesses Ministry of Cooperatives and MSMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises. Bapak Julius, thank you so much. Ibu Nita Yudi from the Indonesia Women's Association of Women's Entrepreneurs Association, IWAPI. So we're really pleased you're here as well. And Bapak Joko Kurnijanto, on the way. No, is represented, sorry, by Bapak Lutfi Al-Katiri from OJK. Okay, thank you, Bapak. Thank you so much for being here. You know, OJK is the Financial Services Authority, and they've really got a key role to play in this, especially with MSMEs. And Bapak Suwandi from Mekari. Wonderful. We have private sector entrepreneur here to shed some light. So you can see we have quite a nice mixture of panelists to shed light on this topic and get us going. I also want to acknowledge the presence of representatives today from the Coordinating Ministry of Economic Affairs, the Coordinating Ministry of Human Development and Cultural Affairs, of course, the Ministry of Manpower, the ILO's line ministry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Bank of Indonesia, Bappenas, who I just spent 2 long days at a very big event in Bali. They had organized quite something in terms of the future of work and high-level forum on partnerships. So Bappenas is here, the Ministry of Education, BRIN, and TNP2K. Of course, we have the esteemed presence of many union leaders, including female union leader, who will be a commentator. So thank you, Ibu. And also Apindo, Pat Ronald is here, also going to speak from the employer's perspective and give some final commentary towards the end of the program today to help keep us motivated moving forward as to what we need to be thinking about. We also have our wonderful donor development partner agencies. I see Switzerland, we see Italy, we see a number of other development agencies and diplomatic missions here. And not to mention my dear UN system brother from UNIDO, who work very closely on this issue of AI. And from the UN Communications Center, Information Communications is here too. Other development partners, research agencies, private sector, and ladies and gentlemen, see, long list. We expected, to be honest, 50 people, and we're at 110. So it can, and that's offline. So you should feel wonderful, and then I think we have quite a few online. So once again, selamat pagi, Bapak dan Ibu yang terhormat. So really a welcome, a pleasure to welcome you as Uti mentioned, this is the second in a series. The last one was about 2.5 months ago. And that was when we had the wonderful presence of the ILO's Deputy Director General. So the second highest chief of ILO on her first mission outside in her new position to a country came to Indonesia. And we used that opportunity to really bring to the forefront, or at least start that conversation on the implications of AI on the labor market, especially the Indonesian labor market. It was a very rich discussion. And it inspired us to say, okay, we're not just going to have one discussion and close up shop. We needed to have a series of deep dives into the different dimensions of the world of work so that we're also moving along with the curve. Maybe we're not ahead of the curve because we all know technology moves way faster than many of us are managing these days, but we're at least moving along and keeping at the forefront, not just conversations about technology, digitalization, machines, computers, but the people. And by the people, I'm talking about the women, the men, the youth, the elderly, those with disabilities. The potential is immense for AI to create an inclusive, yet robust, economically robust dividends for a country, for an economy, and for the workforce. And with the shifting dynamics, population dynamics also for Indonesia, it's really a critical time that we have some foresight strategically on this. So today we decided we would focus on MSMEs. By some statistics, some 98% of Indonesia's workforce is an employee or employer in an MSME. So it is quite a sizable chunk. They also do have a huge contribution to the country's GDP, although they could have an even greater contribution. So how can we actually use AI for this? In fact, perhaps Professor Hamman might already mention his outfit just this year, together with Advisia and IBM, came up about the impact of artificial, especially generative artificial intelligence, on enhancing the economic landscape of Indonesia, and projected that it could unlock approximately $243.5 billion US dollars. $243.5 billion US dollars in productive capacity. So that means of the humans working in this, and which represents, just to put it in proportion, 1/5 of the country's GDP. So the potential is immense, and I'm sure you will speak more to this. And an earlier study also gave very compelling figures at Kearney, and in about 366 billion US dollars of GDP by 2030, and almost $1 trillion across Southeast Asia. So maybe I'm preaching to the converted. We know this has huge implications going forward. The potential, economic and social, and that of inclusion, is driven by its power, AI's power to transform many sectors, from manufacturing to agriculture. And by the way, we're hoping the next deep dive in a few months will focus on agriculture, to also financial services, logistics, tourism and tourism ecosystem. The list is endless. All different sectors of the labor market can be impacted in both a positive and a negative way. I think those days have gone when people talked about robots replacing humans. Now we're not talking so much, maybe some people are still talking about robots replacing humans, but I think the realization in ILO's research over the years and talking to our world of work actors and constituents is that actually the human element is so critical moving forward and will not be lost and should not be lost, right, going forward. So there are some sectors that, yes, maybe you might find digital replacement, robotic replacement, but by and large, what's going to actually happen is going to be a shift in the nature of work, right? Not people losing jobs. And there's been a lot of media hype and people losing jobs because AI and machines will replace human beings. That might happen in very small number. This is why it's so important that we have this discussion right now, because MSMEs are at the heart of the entrepreneurship drive, the job creation, the revenue creation, all sorts of things that are beneficial for the future and present of the people, the women and the men, the young, the disabled, the elderly, you name it, of Indonesia. So it's really, really important for us to focus on this group and see which sectors, because MSMEs cover many different sectors as well in services. So there's a really great potential here. Adoption and non-adoption of AI is both an opportunity and challenge. I think that's the bottom line. It's an opportunity and challenge. So here we start to think about where are the opportunities, but we also start to highlight and think about what challenges are ahead or present and how can we overcome those challenges. And it'll take all of us to think of those kind of things. I'll give you an example from India. Not because I'm part Indian, but it's come up in the literature quite interestingly, especially when it comes to MSMEs and access to finance services. We've known they've had a lot of issues over the years, collateral, paperwork, bureaucracy, all sorts of things, especially for women entrepreneurs trying to access loans. But in India, there was one study that it showed that business lenders in India lending to small businesses utilized AI-driven platforms to really significantly improve their loan approval rates. So that time lag really reduced. So it was more real time, which was much needed. It wasn't months and years. And we're starting to see already some of that. And we hope to hear a bit more about that from OJK, about how that potential is also being harnessed. On the other hand, in terms of challenges, the real challenge, apart from digital resources, infrastructure, which are very real, hardware issues in the country, is the software issues of the people, the skills gap. Skills gap, very, very important. And this kind of issue of the skills gap is something that needs to be already tackled head on. And it's not just about people digitally being literate anymore, but understanding what is the potential of using this to become a lifelong learner, but also, and to augment as the jobs change, which they will, they already are. I think 10 years ago, they said something like, you know, an average youth entering the labor market will change their job 8 times in their career. So those days of people like me that have been in one organization for a long time, long gone. Changing jobs, that innovation is very much part of this. So that kind of lifelong learning and installation and skills is really critical at this point so that people can adopt the nature of their work and their operations. And here I want to also emphasize how important it is for managers, because we hear a lot about skilling the workforce, supply driven. But how about those that are managing them? Are they equipped? Am I equipped as a manager of the ILO office here, you know, to use and harness and advise my employees, right, on how we can use AI to make it better and how we can provide better services to our constituents? It's a minor example, but I think in the business world, especially in the MSME world, this is so critical that the supply side is also looking at it from a management side. So I want to just say that there's 3 things I want to emphasize as we begin today's discussion, and I'm going to stop talking. With focus on the augmentation of jobs, not the replacement of jobs. Number 1 is very important to have social dialogue, and this is very ILO speak, but what it essentially means that this very important that it's not just a government driven, it's not just a private sector driven, or it's just not a union driven, but it's very important that at least at minimum, 3 of the key world of work actors, government, employers, and workers, based on evidence and analysis and whatever the latest information is that is credible in a very rapidly changing world, they come and they talk about the implications, and they not just talk about the implications, but they come and devise together the solutions so that AI and augmentation of AI will be inclusive and see that. We know that AI, and Professor will talk to this, perhaps is fed, it's as good as the data that goes into it. And the volume of data and the quality of data is absolutely essential. So as we move forward in this evidence-based social dialogue on the world of work, MSMEs, let's also make sure that we are using good data and AI is able to use that to really improve potential and not turn around and include discriminatory practices. And we've heard about this in the HR human resources world about algorithms and how they perpetuate discrimination, especially for women or lower income brackets or low skilled workers, how we can harness that for talent enhancement and performance management. The second point I want to kind of remind, and I've said it a few times already, but I can't say it enough, which is how much it is important to invest in the skills of the women, the men, the young, the elderly, those with disabilities on AI by working on robust and equitable education skills and lifelong learning frameworks, very important. And also investing, and this is very much a private sector government-led thing, investing in digital infrastructure. And then third point and last point is the need to already develop legislative frameworks and safeguards to protect workers and employers and MSMEs that are navigating in this field on the use of appropriate AI technology at the workplace, but also not limiting the free competition that's really needed in the market, and especially in the markets that MSMEs operate in. So social dialogue, skills, legislative safeguards, 3 points. With that, I would like to say terima kasih atas perhatian Bapak Ibu semuanya. I'm very new to Indonesia. I'm still learning Bahasa Indonesia, so please forgive me for my mispronunciation, but the sentiment is genuine. And I hope we can really have, and I know we will have a very fruitful discussion ahead to enhance MSMEs' readiness in adopting and utilizing AI to promote decent work and productive growth. Thank you so much. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Ibu Simrin Singh. For our next session, we would like to invite Professor Dr. Insinyur Hamman Riza, MSc, IPU President of Korika, to deliver the keynote speech for today, Navigating AI Integration for a Human-Centered, Job-Rich Productive MSME Sector, Strategic Pathway for Indonesia.
Ada clicker ini? Oke. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Nama Budaya, salam kebajikan, salam sehat semua. Greetings to Simrin, the Director of ILO Indonesia and Timor-Leste. Also distinguished speakers, I would like to mention a few of them, but certainly Pak Tullius, Ibu Diah Anita, Pak Joko Kurnianto, Pak Suwandi Soh, also my colleagues from Economy, Coordinating Ministry of Economy, and I see also a friend from Ministry of Kominfo, and certainly all of you, distinguished, esteemed colleagues. AI is just not a tool. It is really transformative. I think Simrin has put it so much into this introduction of AI, so certainly all of us are very much aware. And it is today that we again imagine the potential of AI in revolutionizing the Indonesia micro and small medium enterprises, right? I have this title. It's quite long, and it has a really a far-reaching consequences of transforming the MSME with AI, right? So, but why is it so important with this transformation, right? Because MSME is our backbone of our economy. And the questions, the objective, the research objective is how we can harness this potential to not only boost AI, boost only productivity, but also create a more human-centered, job-rich environment. So let's go ahead and jump to some of the things. Next slide, please. As mentioned earlier, MSME makes up over 99% of businesses in Indonesia, contributing to more than 61% of our GDP. And staggering numbers, almost 99% of the employees of the workforce are in SMSE, and their success is integral to our nation's economic stability and growth. So we are going to bring forward our long-term national planning, Indonesia 2045. Basically, this is very important. If we have dream of Indonesia, golden Indonesia 2045, I would say, there is also the futuristic dream of AI singularity. AI surpassing the human intelligence and potentially will create dystopian or utopian world. So you can go from one extreme to the other extreme, right? Are we going to face robot apocalypse in 2045, or really most developed country, top of the economy in the world for Indonesia? So let's dive deeper into how AI can be effectively integrated into MSME to support human-centered approach, fostering job creations, enhancing productivity, and ensuring that no one is left behind, especially in digital transformation. How can AI be the game changer that propels MSME into Indonesia 2045 digital economy? Yeah. Some figures already mentioned by Simrin, exactly what is we have in the national AI strategy, and also what we do have in our national digital economy strategy published by Coordinating Ministry of Economy in Indonesia towards 2030. So the current landscape of this digital economy shows us that it will enable Indonesia Vision 2045, because most of the countries are already betting on this, right? And if you can see, AI comes and belongs to the broad digital economy, yeah, the broad section of this, where all the MSMEs are positioned to do the digital transformations. MSME are the lifeblood of the Indonesia economy, as it employs a lot of workers. It is the largest labor market, and they are pivotal in driving economic resilience and social stability. But we face challenges on this. Despite their importance, MSME face significant barriers, such as limited access to advanced technology, financial constraints, and widening skill gap, just like you mentioned. These challenges must be addressed to unlock their full potential in the AI era. So I would like to take you to my next slide, the AI integration in MSMEs, opportunities and risks. And before that, a couple of slides coming about the adoption of digital economy in the MSMEs. This slide shows that digital technology is there, right? Whether you are using any kind of device, anywhere, yeah, handphone, laptop, digital scanner and printer. We have a bunch of software that are in our hands right now, but we don't really know that this software are already embedded with AI, even though it is not generative AI, but it is machine learning. It is a deep learning. It has the capability of natural language processing. It has the capability of doing computer visions, right? So all of this, whether it is marketplace, social media, and other supporting software, it is already embedded with a lot of digital technology. I used to say it is not only about AI for this digital technology, it is A to Z actually. AI, blockchain, cloud computing, data mining, data science, data engineering, Web3 to Z, zero knowledge proof. This is how you identify yourself in the future, right? We are present, but with zero knowledge proof, you know, your have fun or your all of these are within our hands. Next slide. Also, here in this slide, UMKM or medium small enterprise are already there in adopting all this digital technology, and it is part of the productivity gain of the MSMEs in adopting this technology digital. So what will AI do for already enhanced MSMEs in digital transformations? That is a very deep and question and also difficult to answer, right? Because AI brings so much aspects into our, yes? Okay, all right. All right. So we want to see that this AI is not only adopted by MSME without any guardrails, right? We want to make sure that the increased adoptions of, especially here, you can see generative AI being adopted by more than 75% of the businesses, yeah, globally, yeah. It shows us it is really a rapid growth. So we know that AI can optimize operations by automating routine tasks, analyzing data for better decision-making, and freeing up time for innovation. This can lead to substantial productivity, especially for the MSMEs. AI will also might automate some jobs, especially with generative AI. You don't work alone at this time, you know. If you are still working alone without generative AI, you are basically lagging with your teams, with others, right? So it is really a question whether MSMEs, all our skilled workers are using the AI tools available freely, yeah, on any device, are giving us the substantial productivity gains, yeah, for our work. So for the opportunities, again, while AI might automate some jobs, it also creates new opportunities, particularly in tech-driven roles. Upskilling workers to manage and operate AI system can protect existing jobs and open new career paths. Take, for example, next slide, please. Yeah, if you can see what the generative AI with the development of the foundation models, large language models, especially we want to also use this large language model to basically build up the preservations of our cultural heritage and many others, I would say, assets of our country, including the languages of the indigenous languages in many provinces, in many areas. As you know, we have 700 plus languages, and AI can help us, you know, to preserve and automate this language into the large language model. So I have put some of the potentials here just to give you an idea: enhance design creativity, generate content, personalize customer interaction, augment and analyze data. Yeah. Take, for example, I think from OJK and from the Central Bank of Indonesia, yeah, they have witnessed the use of AI. Such policy making like macro prudentials are being used to speed up the process of policy making. And at the same time, this can also, yeah, be mimicked by the MSMEs, improve efficiency and enhance productivity. So what will AI bring to our futures opportunities? Well, as the saying of Peter Drucker, the best way to predict the future is to create it, right? So we must create this today. Yeah, because we are already in the journey. We are already laying out plans for our medium terms national planning, RPJMN. We are also putting ahead the long-term national planning, RPJP, toward Indonesia 2045. So we should start from today. MSMEs can shape the future of Indonesia, where technology complements the human efforts rather than replacing it. Now that's the opportunities. Now I want to bring you some key points on risks, on the challenges. First, certainly everybody is talking about displacement concerns, right? Everyone. What will AI affect the labor market? Whether unethical AI is going to be the mainstream, right? Global North are really rushing into governing AI by having a lot of discussions and also around the hard law for AI. Global South, we are basically observing at this time, even though we do have ethical circular letter on ethical AI by Kominfo, but we are not there yet in terms of governing. Because why? Because we want to focus on innovations, and innovation will drive the MSMEs in Indonesia. So there is a legitimate fear that AI could lead to job losses, particularly in sectors where automation can easily replace human labor. So a balanced approach is essential to mitigate this risk. Ethical consideration that ensuring the AI integration is both ethical and inclusive is crucial. AI should enhance human capabilities and contribute to the social equity, not exacerbate on existing inequalities. Yeah. So basically, every technology should be adopted, yeah, by all of us, because technology usually bring us together, not segregate us from being developed person, individuals, skillful workers. So AI, as with other major technological innovation in the past, AI has the potential to both strengthen and disrupt labor markets all over the world. On the one hand, the AI capacity to both complement or substitute tasks might be particularly beneficial for workers whose skills are complemented, as they would see a substantial increase in their productivity and income. So I have wrote some most important point that I see, that considering the impact that AI has in different tasks, including those managerial ones, it is relevant to recognize the importance of governance framework. Yeah, I think this discussion today, we will very much touch on governance framework. We are also doing now AI readiness assessment methodology. This is where what brings me to ILO, because we have ILO as one of the national stakeholder team on ethical AI, supported by the UNESCO recommendations on ethical AI. So considering the impact that AI has in different tasks, it is the importance of governance framework throughout AI life cycle. Anyone knows what is AI life cycle basically? Is it the same thing as software life cycle or product life cycle? Well, basically, that is the thing. Yeah, we can say now AI life cycle. Basically, what is AI life cycle is coming from identifying all the actors, yeah, that are part of the AI development, in AI development and deployment, so that we need to understand this. AI engineers, prompt engineers, data visualization professional, AI compliance officers, data labeling workers, because as you know, data is the lifeblood of AI, yeah, and many others job position. So in order to protect workers' rights, we need to also promote technological innovations. So on that note, the multi-stakeholder team that I have mentioned earlier will provide this recommendation on how to better assess the labor-related issues pointed out and how to promote meaningful policy discussion that defend human-centered and human rights based on the development and deployment of AI system in the labor market. So for the next few slides, I try to give some of the strategic pathways for human-centered AI integration into MSMEs. Many things need to be delved deeper. We need to have policy recommendations. We need policies that promote AI adoption while safeguarding workers' rights, ensuring fair practices. We need to have capacity building, continuous education and upskilling are vital. As you see, adopting AI in MSMEs means that all the process of assessment, planning, education, and training, as well as pilot projects, need to be there. Yeah, just to make sure that this capacity building, continuous education, upskilling, which are vital, will equip the workforce with the skills needed to adapt AI-driven changes. So we can ensure that no one is left behind in these technological evolutions. Next slide. There is actually a guidelines for all of us. I shared with Simrin earlier. Back in 2021, we launched this national AI strategy. It is not basically trying to be a complete and definitive guide but we want to be sure that Indonesia participate in the global AI race. That's why we focus on the vision of Indonesia 2045. Yeah, where we focus on 4 main areas. And I think all of us should also consider this as the collaborative effort where private and public enterprises can work together on adopting AI for Indonesia. Ethics and policy, data and digital infrastructures, talent development, as well as innovation. Yeah, innovation. These 4 focus areas are basically a general challenges for all the countries trying to be leading the pack for AI, adoption, embracing AI into our nations. And from there on, we have basically identified 5 priority areas for this. Healthcare, bureaucracy reform, research and education, food resiliency, agriculture. I'm happy that you are going to focus on agriculture for the next event. Yeah, that's one of our top priority. Of course, it will change with the Astacita, right? Yeah, Astacita will define which area of our national development planning to be adopting many digital technology, because digital transformations is not only our mainstream program, it is all globally. Digital transformation is the enabler to be successful in Industry 4.0 revolutions. Last but not least, I come to my last slide. A call to actions, empowering MSMEs through AI adoptions and fostering collaborations. AI offers immense potentials to enhance productivity, foster innovation, and create jobs with Indonesia's MSMEs. However, this potential can only be realized if we address the challenge of skill gaps, ethical concerns, and resource constraints. I think you already mentioned 3 key points, and I support these 3 important points. Thank you so much. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf bila ada kekurangan. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Bapak, saya mohon untuk tetap di atas. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Before we enter our session discussion, we would like to have a picture together. We would like to invite Ibu Simrin Singh, and then with Professor Hamman and all the panelists, we would like to invite Pak Julius, Pak Lutfi Al-Katiri, kemudian Ibu Diah juga untuk bisa to come on the stage. We will have a session picture, and also Pak Johari as a moderator. Please do come on stage. We will take a picture together. After this, we will have a picture with all participants. Yes, and two commentators we would like to invite from KSBSI and also from Apindo to also join on stage, please. Yes, on the stage. Oh, on the floor. Okay. Okay, so these are our speakers for today. For the next session, we will have a discussion with all these panelists. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more. Okay. Okay, now we would like to invite everybody to come back to your seat. We will have a take picture from the stage, photographer with all the participants. Yes, we would like to invite everybody to stand up. We'll take pictures with everybody, all the participants for today's AI forum. Okay. These are the participants for today's AI forum, Transforming Indonesian MSME with AI, Innovation, Strategies, and Insight. Okay. We would like to request everybody to return to seat. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we start our discussion today, we would like to invite you to see a video, AI Impacts to the World of Work and MSME.
Micro, small and medium enterprises are central to the promotion of decent work, economic growth, and social justice across the world. In Indonesia, MSMEs are the backbone of the economy, contributing to about 61% of its GDP and employing 97% of its workforce. Around 117 million workers, with women representing 64% of it. Despite their significance, Indonesian MSMEs often face the triple challenge of low productivity, poor working conditions, and high vulnerability to economic, political, and environmental shocks. The ILO supports the government, workers, and employers' organizations to address those challenges by fostering an enabling business environment, advancing entrepreneurial skills, and creating better market and resource access, with the goal of allowing MSMEs to become the drivers of the country's human-centered, green, and resilient growth. So, how can AI transform MSMEs in Indonesia? The opportunities are massive. AI can enhance business process in many ways. For instance, it can help with better decision-making, thanks to big data-driven processes not normally available to resource-constrained economic units. Predictions about the demand for the products and services can become easier and cheaper to access, and could possibly self-drive the production process. Thanks to AI, MSMEs may be able to customize their offer to satisfy the customer's preferences, reducing the cost of the otherwise substantial and risky investment in research. MSMEs can realize savings linked to automating routine tasks, better fraud detection, and risk mitigation. Thanks to AI, credit risk can be better evaluated and allow MSMEs to access financial products otherwise unavailable. Also, AI has the potential to boost the efficiency outcomes of often burdensome talent acquisition or regulatory compliance processes. These are just a few ways AI can help MSMEs to be more competitive, innovative, sustainable, and centers of decent work. Today, we will explore more. Are you ready? Join the deep dive, transforming Indonesian MSMEs with AI, innovations, strategies, and insight.
Baik. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the discussion session for today. Therefore, we would like to invite Bapak Johari Sitorus, ILO Program Manager, Who will be the moderator of today's discussion? Pak Ju, silakan.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam sehat untuk kita semua. Good morning, selamat pagi, everyone, Bapak Ibu, friends and colleagues. Once again, thank you for joining this forum. My name is Jauhari Jo Sitorus, and it is a pleasure for me to be here and also to be the moderator of today's discussion. I think the opening remark and keynote speech by Ibu Simrin and Professor Hamman has nicely provided an overview of the potential benefit of AI for SMEs, as well as some of the broad challenges. A few items brought into the highlight was the issue on skills, infrastructures, and also legislative and the governance of AI. I think these are some of the terms that I pick up from the excellent speech that Ibu Simrin and Professor Hamman made just now. And the video that we just saw a few minutes ago actually shows some of the benefit of using AI for SMEs. So I don't intend to repeat the messages from the video, but I'd like to borrow what Professor Hamman made a statement. I think it's very relevant for our discussion today. And I hope it can be shown on the screen. Yes. So this is Professor, I'm sorry I borrowed this. I hope there's no copyright issue here, but he said, and I actually tweak it and to make it become a postulate that we can dwell more during our discussion, that AI can be, and I think it's already considered a game changer that propels MSME into that helps Indonesia reaching the Indonesia Mass 2045. And AI is a necessity. So it's just not something that is an option of whether the SMEs, MSMEs, entrepreneurs like it or not, but it is something that they have to understand. They have to adopt, maybe in different level and different process. I think this is a journey that we're going to discuss in more detail today. So with that, before I call up our panelists and speakers, I think I also like to assess the level of AI adoption of people in this room. So I have prepared two questions that I would like to ask all of you. The first one, please raise your hand if you have ever used any generative AI tools. Whoa, wow. Yeah, I think I have to. Pak Suwandi, I assume you have, but great. I think some more than half of the audience here have used, at least one generative AI. There are a few of them, right? ChatGPT, what's Copilot, my journey something that for the video and all that. Yeah, so these are example of Gen I. I think the names are maybe quite familiar for most of you. And my second questions, and this is sort of like more self-assessment, maybe self-boasting as well. Do you think you are very good at writing AI prompts? Oh, yes, one, okay. Two, yeah. Okay, now I think a fewer hands are actually raised up. So I think this is something that we need to learn how to do it some people actually are very talented in this. That's why I think the new profession called AI prompt engineer, right? I think there's highly paid skills and job. Maybe there's something I'd like to learn before my retirement. Right, so that's my intro for the discussion. And now I'd like to call our speakers to come to the stage. The first one is Bapak Julius from the Ministry of Cooperative and SME. Please give a round of applause to Pak Julius. And I'll read his short bio, if I may, Pak Izin. Pak Julius is currently Deputy for Micro Business at the Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs. Pak Julius is an economist and expert in MSME development, right, Pak? Before his current position, he was an expert staff and Deputy Assistant for Labor Productivity Enhancement at Connecticut Ministry for Economic Affairs. Julius holds a Bachelor of Economics from University of Gajah Mada, Master and PhD from the University of Dauvergne in France. I hope I pronounced it correctly. It's in France. Correct. Okay. Thank you so much. And the second, okay. The second speaker is Ibu Nita Yudi. Ibu, please come to the stage. Please give a round of applause for Ibu Nita. Ibu Nita is currently the president of the Indonesia Business Women Association, UAP. Thank you. Ibu Nita is a successful women entrepreneur. She has won a number of awards, and she has also spoken in a number of international fora on various issues, including on women's rights and women entrepreneurship. Welcome, Ibu Nita. Ibu Nita is interestingly is an architect, right? And then she did the Master of Business Administration in the United States. The third speaker that I would like to invite is Pak Lutfi Al-Khatiri from OJK. Please, Pak Lutfi. Please give a round of applause to Pak Lutfi. Pak Lutfi is an executive analyst at Digital Finance Innovation Group at the Indonesian Financial Service Authority, or OJK. Pak Lutfi has a degree from Institute Teknologi of Bandung and also master from University of Indonesia. Pak Lutfi is a seasoned bank supervisor, so he supervised private banks in his earlier career. Welcome, Pak Lutfi. Thank you for joining us. Last but not least is Pak Suwandi Soh. Pak Suwandi, please give a round of applause for Pak Suwandi. Pak Suwandi is the CEO of Makari. She started his entrepreneur's journey back in 2008. And in 2015, he founded Slicker, which has now become Makari. So Pak Suwandi is the person who has been driven the adoption of AI in all of Makari products. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much again for joining this forum. Let's begin our discussion. And I hope it's okay if I can give you only 7 minutes each to respond to my questions. And then after that, I will invite questions from the floor. But for the first round of questions, we use Slido. So please, I think we can show on the screen, right? The code. Please cast your questions as the speaker speaks. So you don't have to wait until the end of the speaker's comment. Right, so let's begin. Let me get my contekan here. Somehow I misplaced it. Right, so Julius, there are over 64 million MSMEs in Indonesia, right? And we were wondering, how is the government, in this case your ministry, currently supporting the adoption of AI in MSMEs, particularly for those who based in rural areas or in underdeveloped areas? And if you could also share with us some of the specific ongoing activities or programs that you plan to initiate or implement in the near future. So please, Julius, thank you.
First, I should say to Ibu Sims and uh, Pak Hamam and all of the speaker audience that it's not said it's by one. And thank you for Bu Nita, Pak Lutfi Al-Qatari, Bapak Suandi, and other, maybe one of them I forget. Of course, as Pak Mari and Bu Simrin, susah namanya. It's difficult for Indonesian name. MSME using the EI is a must. If they not use AI, it's difficult for them to increase their business. Their business is difficult to jump from small business to be a big business. This is the point. Then what we do in our ministry, we targeted with digitalization by targeting 30 million MSE for digital onboarding in 2024. This is our target, 30 million. But until now, is on still 21 million. So we have work hard for that. Must work hard for that. And also, our minister make promotion catalog through the Smesta platform. We call it Smesta. Smesta that all SME can access this platform. What is the Smesta is including how if we want to apply increasing the capability, increasing how to access a finance, and increasing work connected between small business enterprise and big enterprise. And also we have AI, the so-called La Micro. La Micro is a kind of software used by micro, but for micro, that very easy for them to use it. It's very easy. This is not like accounting or something like that, but either by easy, it's still difficult for UMK, for MSME to adopt this one. So we train them how to use La Micro. And then we have starting to build a single data platform for MSME, starting from the first year in this, at the early year in this year, in this year. So hopefully will be finished at the end of this year. And then while we have through special training, we have a training that can be accessed if through our website, this called EHAB Menkop UKM, Menkop GUD. This is a platform that uh, platform for the UMKM to learn. We give learning how to be SME, good SME, how to be a sell the product the market, and how to sell the connected with the industry. This is for example, we have entrepreneur hub platform, an Indonesian entrepreneurship platform that provide various information for entrepreneurship, starting from finding business idea, managing and developing their business, so become entrepreneur, so up collaborate with various sector as a business, as and startup competition, we make it. This is what we need, we do in how the incubator become good in this. And then what the strategy our ministry in order to develop AI, the strategy will by taken our minister to facilitate transfer knowledge AI from large company with partnership with the large company through MOU. For example, program in collaboration with Google with in 10 provinces. For 6 months, MSE will be assessed with the mentor that facilitate digital marketing, how to prepare e-commerce, how to save online, how to register or appear in Google Search, Google Map. And another collaboration is collaboration with the Ministry of Cooperative is South Korea government, the so-called INOBIS. The program is that official development assistance project for supporting transformation product adopting smart factory concept. This program already running, and then the sector we focus is the agriculture, like speaker before said, food and beverage, automotive, and textile. The goal is to increase capacity of FSC toward the supply chain in industrial ecosystem, applying technology in with artificial intelligence, so them MSI can enter the global industry supply chain. I give two example. We have Sri Ratu Laundry use the WhatsApp business chatbot as a communication, recording, and scaling system. And the second is Warung Pintar. Warung Pintar. Warung is a shop, shop, clever shop, smart shop. Is startup that helps small shop business to work directly with supplier and distributor to improve the performance of shop business management. So this is what I want to say. Maybe we proceed in the discuss more in detail.
Thank you so much, Pak Julius. I'm very encouraged that a lot has been done by the ministry, Pak, yeah? So ranging from providing training, also platform for people to learn entrepreneurship, and also real support, such as connecting the SMEs with large corporation to facilitate transfer of knowledge. And the two examples that were provided, Sri Ratu and Warung Pintar, Pak, yeah? So this is very good news. And we hope that this program will continue going forward and to produce more adoption of AI by micro and small medium enterprises in Indonesia. Thank you again, Pak Julius, for a very comprehensive answer and information, very insightful. Now I would like to move to Ibu Nita Yudi. Ibu, we know that as said a couple of times by both Simrin and also on the video and also Professor Hamam, there's 97 of Indonesian workforce actually in micro SMEs. And we understand that a significant portion of these are actually women. A lot of business SMEs is actually managed, owned, or led by women. So what are specific challenges and opportunities you think for women entrepreneurs in adopting or using AI, including perhaps some of the issues highlighted earlier on skills and access to technology? Ibu Nita, would you please? Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Jo. Uh, Thank you very much for inviting me, ILO, Madam Simrin Singh, and also Honorable Prof. Hamam, Pak Lutfi, Pak Swandi, Pak Julius, and all the panelists, all the participants today. Good morning. And first of all, before I answer your question, can I talk a little bit about IWAPI? IWAPI was established on February 10, 1975. So right now we are 49 years old. Next year, yeah, or getting old. Next year we are 50 years. So our member more than 30,000 women entrepreneur in 34 provinces and 259 from the region or city and one from representative IWAPI in Malaysia. 98% from our member is small, medium, micro, small, and medium. 2% is a large business. They are Sari Ayu, the owner is Ibu Marta Tilaar, and Mustika Ratu, the owner is almarhumah Ibu Muriati Sudibyo, and also Wardah, the owner is Ibu Ati Nurbaiti, and also there's one, the gun supplier. Yes, gun supplier. That's all for the 2%. That's right. Our member is more variety of the business. Culinary, fashion, contractor, consultant, and shoe, bag, jewelry, and beauties and spa, and so on. And our vision is to be a strong businesswoman association, not in local but also in global. Actually, we are the biggest woman entrepreneur association, not only in Indonesia but in ASEAN. Our mission is empowering and strengthen women in SME, improving the woman ability in managing their businesses, and third, providing member with the access to the new technology, marketing, and finance. So we should be trained, should be pakai sedikit campuran bahasa boleh? Harus menjadi karena kami pusat, IWAPI pusat, jadi kami juga harus melayani anggota supaya mereka bisa naik kelas. Dan tentunya karena kami NGO, tidak ada dana sama sekali, maka kami harus bermitra. Semua kemitraan kami bangun, kami build, ya, terutama dengan kementerian, terutama Kementerian Koperasi UKM, Kementerian Pemberdayaan Perempuan, Kementerian Perdagangan, dan semuanya, BUMN dan semuanya. Karena mereka memang punya program dan kita memang harus bisa menaikkan kelas daripada anggota kami. Mengapa saya harus memberikan latar belakang tadi? Karena kami punya 3 program. Bagaimana menaikkan sumber daya manusia dengan keahlian. Saat ini sudah era digital 4.0 dan sudah masuk ke AI pula. Sementara masalah terbesar dari kami, saya ini baru keliling ke Indonesia, ya. Dan kebetulan di sini ada teman-teman saya izin memperkenalkan Ibu Ramlah adalah ketua organisasi DPP IWAPI dan beliau juga ketua IWAPI Papua Barat. Ibu Lala, can you stand up? Papua Barat, jadi di ujung sana. Tapi saya minta beliau membantu untuk di pusat. Dan Ibu dari Wakil Komtab organisasi dan Ibu Lita ini di bawah Komtabnya Mbak Rina Zud, bidang tenaga kerja. Terima kasih atas supportnya. Dan saat kami harus berkolaborasi, kami sebenarnya sudah bekerja bersama untuk masalah digital itu tahun 2016 dengan Facebook. Dan kami sudah roadshow ya ke 19 daerah dengan Facebook. Setiap daerah kami ajari tentang digital marketing dan alhamdulillah ibu-ibu itu sangat semangat. Bahkan setiap daerah itu bisa kalau dilatih itu 200 sampai 500 peserta. Artinya di semangat ibu-ibu luar biasa. Begitu juga dengan Google. Kami sudah mengadakan roadshow kurang lebih ke 16 daerah. Kemudian pada saat COVID 2020 semua rasanya hampir putus asa, ya. Tapi kita koordinasi dengan pemerintah, kita konsolidasi seluruh DPD se-Indonesia dan akhirnya kami dapat partner. Waktu itu UN Women. UN Women mengajak IWAPI untuk bagaimana bisa meningkatkan usahanya walaupun dalam keadaan COVID. Jadi jangan putus asa. Itu yang kami lakukan. Dan alhamdulillah saat itu COVID pesertanya 2.000. Jadi ini menunjukkan bahwa perempuan tidak pernah putus asa. Perempuan kalau dikasih kesempatan malah lebih gesit, ya. Jadi hari ini saya sangat berterima kasih sudah diundang. Mudah-mudahan melalui ILO ya, melalui Prof Hamam, Pak Lutfi dan Pak Suwandi, kita bisa berkolaborasi untuk menaikkan kelas anggota kami, Pak. Karena tadi perempuan memberikan kontribusinya cukup luar biasa dan jumlah perempuan 61%. GDP yang kita berikan 60%. Kemudian tenaga yang kita rekrut hampir 97%. Ini untuk UMKM. Artinya apa? Perempuan UMKM tidak bisa dilirik sebelah mata, harus 2 mata. Dilihat. Habis itu diberikan pelatihan. Makanya saya kadang-kadang suka memaksa nih Menko, Pak, apalagi Pak? Apalagi programnya. Dan itulah. Jadi karena udah pakai bahasa Indonesia, saya terusin aja pakai bahasa Indonesia ya. Itu oke. Jadi tantangan yang dihadapi, tadi saya udah bilang, seluruh Indonesia saya udah datangin masalah digital. Udah diajarin sama Facebook, udah diajarin sama UN Women. Tapi tetap Pak, nggak usah jauh-jauh deh Pak. Kita beli TV baru, ya kan? Kemudian mau nyalain TV. Banyak banget kan tombolnya. Pasti, nak, tolong dong, ini gimana sih cari volume, cari ini. Itu yang paling sederhana. Begitu juga handphone. Handphone ini bisa untuk jualan. Tapi kalau nggak diajarin ibu-ibu tuh nggak tahu. Taunya jualannya ya udah pakai WA aja. Padahal ada fitur-fitur yang baik yang bisa. Nah, dengan adanya AI ini saya sangat berharap kita bisa kolaborasi. Jadi tantangannya udah jelas ya, AI ini investasinya besar, kita nggak punya uang. Investasi besar untuk infrastruktur, perangkat lunak, dan pelatihan. Yang kedua, memang kesadaran dan pemahaman tentang potensi AI juga menjadi masalah. Kita tahunya AI itu robot. Ya, kalau di TV One, ini kebetulan karena anak saya kerja di TV One AI, dan dia selalu menongolkan bonekanya itu, ya robotnya itu. Jadi saya tahu, oh that is AI. So buat apa fungsinya dengan UMKM gitu. Nah dengan adanya event ini, saya berharap nanti September kami akan melakukan Rakernas Pak, rapat kerja nasional di Kuala Lumpur Pak. Jadi 1.000 perempuan pengusaha Indonesia akan terbang ke Kuala Lumpur. Nah saya berharap mungkin ada event dari ILO maupun Prof Hamam ya untuk berbicara di sana. Bagaimana fungsinya AI ini bisa untuk segala macam kebaikan UMKM. Kemudian keterampilan kita tuh sangat rendah. Apalagi mengenai analisis data, pemrograman, manajemen proyek. Karena memang UMKM ini apalagi yang mikro. Ini pekerjanya hanya 1 sampai 5, Pak. Boro-boro pakai AI. Nah, kalau AI-nya ini bisa disiapkan untuk UMKM, thanks God. Gitu. Ini saya sangat berterima kasih. Dan tentunya juga tentang ketidakpastian hukum dan etika terkait penggunaan AI menjadi kekhawatiran ya, terutama terkait privacy data. Nah, anak saya kerja di TV One AI itu kan mengkloning suara orang. Bisa-bisa kita mengkloning suara Pak Jokowi atau Pak Prabowo presiden terpilih. Nah, kalau cloningnya bagus, alhamdulillah ya Pak. Tapi kalau cloningnya nggak bagus, negatif, cilaka 12 kan. Nah, ini ya AI juga seringkali tidak sesuai dengan kebutuhan khusus UMKM. Karena tadi UMKM kita nih masih yang mikro, yang kecil. Nah bagaimana? Kan sementara AI itu butuh big data ya Pak ya. Gitu. Nah bagaimana ini bisa nanti dipergunakan untuk UMKM. Saya rasa itu saja dulu sementara Pak.
Thank you so much, Ibu Nita. It's very insightful, and let's give applause to Ibu Nita. I like that we heard from first-hand person who actually knows what's happening in the field in terms of real challenges faced by women entrepreneurs, especially those in micro enterprise. Yeah, Bu. We can talk more about some of the challenges and come back to that, and perhaps how we can sort of discuss the solution and strategy to overcome those challenges. Now, I'd like to move to Pak Lutfi, Pak. One of the issues when it comes to expanding business of micro SMEs is always access to financial services, right? So financial services is one of the key enabler for micro SMEs to grow, to expand, and become more resilient, productive, and so on. So you are with the OJK in department that actually working closely with with technology companies that provide new approach, new delivery, new products of financial services. So we'd like to hear perspective from OJK, looking at the fast and rapid development of AI. What are the OJK views on the opportunities and risks for financial service institutions serving MSMEs using AI? And then if you could also talk a little bit of the current regulations or legislation framework to balance the risk and innovation. And these two sometimes not easy to track the balance between innovation and risk. Some are risks already highlighted by Ibu Nita and Professor Hamam also on IT governance and ethical things. Please, Pak Lutfi, you have 7 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Yes. Thank you for having me, Bu Simrin Singh, Pak Prof Hamam. Maybe let me discuss in bahasa. Okay. Pertama memang di OJK kita sudah mulai aware lah ya, mulai memperhatikan ini dari 2016. Kita udah bikin desk kecil-kecilan gitu ya tentang pengembangan inovasi ya, dan lain-lain. Kemudian 2018 kita bikin namanya grup inovasi keuangan digital, financial, group of digital financials. Kemudian berikutnya kita juga bikin Infinity Center atau pusat inovasi. Jadi Center of Innovation di OJK yang tempat kita sharing knowledge, nanti mungkin Prof Aman juga bicara, kemudian kita konsultasi dengan beberapa perusahaan yang jangan dibayangkan juga yang besar-besar Pak, perusahaannya ini kelas UMKM juga, tapi bergerak di bidang teknologi keuangan atau pendukung teknologi sektor jasa keuangan gitu. Nah, ntar kemudian berikutnya kita dorong itu dalam bentuk waktu itu ada pembahasan undang-undang PPSK, penguatan dan pengembangan sektor keuangan Pak, atau Omnibus Law sektor jasa keuangan biasa dikenal juga, karena semua pengaturan sektor jasa keuangan di situ ada untuk Bank Indonesia, untuk Kementerian Keuangan dan lain-lain, termasuk dalam hal itu tentang OJK. Nah di situ diberikan penguatan lagi tentang inovasi teknologi sektor jasa keuangan, dan ditambah satu lagi aset keuangan digital Pak. Jadi yang kripto itu dari Bapepti pindah ke kita. Nah kita khususkan ke inovasi teknologi sektor jasa keuangan. Nah, kemudian pada bulan Februari tahun ini, Februari 2024, 19 Februari tepatnya, kita mengeluarkan POJK, peraturan OJK Pak, nomor 3. Nah, itu tentang inovasi teknologi sektor jasa keuangan. Nah, di situ kita buat yang namanya regulatory sandbox atau sandbox. Nah itu tempat uji coba, tadi Pak Jo udah singgung tentang inovasi dan risk gitu ya, inovasi dan stability itu memang ya check and balance lah kalau bahasa ininya, check and balance. Jadi bagaimana kita dorong inovasi ini tapi juga nanti risknya bisa kita ukur kayak gitu. Nah ini ada tempatnya yang namanya sandbox, itu nanti tempat uji coba di situ Pak. Jadi nanti ada perusahaan-perusahaan baru yang baru mau berkembang, model bisnis baru, layanan produk baru, dan lain-lain. Contohnya awalnya, kalau sekarang sudah keluar tapi Pak ya dari sandbox kami, sekarang sudah terdaftar dan berizin nanti di OJK. Salah satunya tentang inovatif credit scoring, ICS gitu Pak ya. Jadi inovatif credit scoring yang, nah ini juga kami dorong lagi, kembangkan nih mungkin kerjasama sama Pak Julius ya di tempat Kemenkop ya Pak ya. Nah ini jadi bagaimana kita tahu ada kur yang kredit tanpa agunan itu Pak. Kredit tanpa agunan itu buat UMKM yang lebih mikro lagi, 100 juta ke bawah itu Pak yang mikro, itu tanpa agunan. Nah kalau tanpa agunan itu kan 70%-nya nanti kalau misalnya gagal gitu Pak ya, gagal 70%-nya ditanggung sama pemerintah, 30%-nya sama banknya. Nah itu kadang-kadang banknya agak males gitu kan, karena agak ada nanggung sedikit kalau kegagalan atau kredit macet kayak gitu. Nah dorong yang namanya ICS itu agar nanti presisi skornya atau kredit rating atau nanti prediksi defaultnya bisa lebih tepat lagi, sehingga nanti banknya mempunyai tingkat kepercayaan yang lebih tinggi lagi dalam mengatasi pemberian gitu ya, kredit tanpa agunan, mana nih yang lebih tepat, yang ini dikasih dan yang ini enggak kayak gitu, karena kita mempunyai prediksi skor yang lebih meyakinkan. Nah itu model bisnisnya yang sedang digodok juga kerjasama dengan tempatnya Pak Julius. Nah ini salah satunya. Kemudian juga ada lagi yang sudah lulus juga, agregator namanya Pak. Agregator ini mengintegrasikan atau mengumpulkan data dari berbagai tempat. Contohnya kita tahu kan kalau BPR gitu ya, Bank Perekonomian Rakyat namanya. Nah, BPR itu kan bekerja hanya di lokasi terbatas gitu ya, di kabupatennya atau di provinsi tertentu. Dia nggak kemana-mana gitu. Misalnya BPR di Tasikmalaya ya sekitar Tasik aja gitu. Nah dengan adanya agregator ini, dia nanti agregator itu menampilkan data rate misalnya suku bunga buat funding atau lending dari seluruh BPR yang bekerja sama dia. Nah itu bisa kerjasama dari Sulawesi, dari Tasik dan lain-lain. Nah jadi nanti warga negara Indonesia misalnya yang di Sulawesi bisa naruh funding di BPR di Tasik Pak, kalau menurut mereka lebih rate fundingnya lebih bagus gitu ya dibanding di daerahnya, dia bisa naruh sini. Begitu pula sebaliknya, begitu pula untuk lending. Nah tiba-tiba jadi wilayah kerja BPR-nya itu segmen pasarnya jadi lebih luas nanti. Begitu pula ke depannya nanti berikutnya kita pikirkan juga kalau remittance ini pasti kan biasanya nanti lewat bank-bank besar lah ya Pak ya. Biasanya kayak gitu kan, karena kan tenaga kerja Indonesia yang kerja di luar negeri dan lain-lain. Nah kalau misalnya ada agregasi itu mungkin bisa lewat BPR setempat dan lain-lain. Nah jadi yang namanya BPR, namanya UMKM itu tiba-tiba mempunyai segmen pasar yang lebih luas lagi. Karena adanya pendukung atau inovasi di teknologi sektor keuangan. Nah sebelumnya kami juga di Sandbox itu pernah ada namanya SCF atau Securities Crowdfunding. Nah ini jadi yang kita ingin menjadi investor tapi dananya nggak terlalu banyak, kita bisa jadi investor crowdfunding itu. Sekarang tempatnya ada di pasar modal, Pak, pengawasan pasar modal kalau di tempat kami. Jadi nanti misalnya ada, kan sekarang tuh kalau industri film atau restoran atau kalau industri film itu kan ada anak-anak muda tuh suka bikin film apa, nah itu dananya urunan tuh, securities crowdfunding itu. Nanti patungan di situ, tinggal nanti pembagian investasi, return dan lain-lainnya itu ada di situ. Nah itu jadi inovasi-inovasi yang kita kembangkan di sandbox kami, tujuannya buat mendukung nanti baik dari sisi kita sebagai investor atau nasabah maupun buat UMKM-nya gitu Pak, UMKM yang bergerak di sektor jasa keuangan. Nah itu PUJK-nya. Kemudian kita juga khusus untuk itu untuk digitalnya maksud saya Pak. Nah khusus untuk yang AI, kita juga sudah mengembangkan kode etik tahun 2023 kemarin bekerja sama dengan Aptek ya. Ada AI Code of Conduct, ada nanti kita berbasiskan Pancasila, kemudian humanity, dan lain-lain yang Prof. Hamam tadi sudah sampaikan. Bahwa harus berbasiskan manusia gitu ya. Jadi AI-nya sebagai co-pilot, sedangkan manusianya sebagai pilot gitu. Karena nanti ada risiko lanjutannya kalau enggak kan gitu Pak. Nah itu jadi sudah ada kembangan. Kemudian kita juga mengembangkan tentang cyber security, ketentuan cyber security buat di ITSK dan sektor jasa keuangan secara keseluruhan. Karena memang kan ya dengan adanya digitalisasi AI ini ya pasti nanti resiko digitalnya atau resiko IT ya makin itu udah inilah sudah inherent gitu dengan kemajuan teknologi. Ya mungkin itu dulu Pak.
Baik,
Nanti
makasih,
berikutnya.
Pak.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Pak Lutfi. So I pick up that OJK actually has a very supportive and conducive regulatory framework to support broaden access to finance for SMEs using digital technology and also AI, ya Pak. Few initiative mentioned innovative credit scorings, aggregator, and also on the AI, on cyber security and ethical issue with working with the industry to affect. I think this is a great initiative. We would like to hear more in other opportunities, Pak Lutfi, how OJK can be more supportive and successful managing the innovation and risk in financial sector technology. Now I move to the last speaker for today's discussion, Pak Suwandi. Thank you, Pak. Pak Suwandi, Makari is what is the popular name is software as a service company, right? But SaaS. It's something that is maybe some us may not be very familiar. So based on your extensive interaction with SMEs, I know that I look at your website and I think a number of your clients are actually not small and medium. It's more like large corporation, but I'm sure there are some small and medium enterprises or even micro enterprises are actually are your client. So what are the current practical AI adoption by to improve SME business operation in Indonesia? So what Makari has been doing, or how Makari has been supporting some of their clients in micro and small medium enterprises, improving their business operations. If you could share with us some existing practical examples, also maybe best practice or lesson learned, I think that would be useful. Thank you.
Terima kasih Pak Jo. Selamat pagi semuanya. Terima kasih juga Bu Simrin dan ILO untuk undangannya. Saya coba dengan bahasa Indonesia ya Pak ya, mumpung audiensnya lebih ramai juga. Jadi selama ini memang kita sudah bisa melihat bagaimana AI dan juga mungkin bukan hanya AI ya. Jadi sebelumnya kita sudah ada beberapa teknologi yang mendukung AI seperti machine learning. Sebenarnya kita sudah lama mendapatkan manfaat dari teknologi yang lebih advance. Nah, memang sejak 2 tahun terakhir, terutama sejak OpenAI merilis ChatGPT, tren atau generative AI hype ini lebih terakselerasi. Jadi semua orang seperti melihat bahwa AI adalah kapabilitas baru di mana kita bisa berinteraksi dengan komputer dan komputer bisa melakukan sesuatu untuk kita. Nah, padahal sebenarnya kita selaku SME itu sudah menikmati teknologi ini sejak dulu. Hanya saja kita mungkin bukan aktor utamanya. Jadi kita mendapatkan benefit kadang tidak direct tapi indirect. Misalnya nih contoh teman-teman pengusaha atau business leaders di sini pada saat kita lagi mencari produk tertentu di marketplace, ya. Marketplace itu punya kemampuan untuk suggest, oh ini barang yang mungkin cocok untuk Anda, ini vendor yang mungkin cocok. Nah itu saja sudah ada peran teknologi seperti machine learning maupun to the extent AI. Tadi Pak Julius dan Bu Nita juga mention soal platform komunikasi yang kita pakai setiap hari ya untuk messaging. Terus bagaimana chatbot bisa membantu. Jadi kita sendiri sebenarnya sudah merasakan. Hanya saja selama ini kita mungkin aktif sebagai consumer atau pengguna saja. Nah sekarang yang kita lagi fokuskan mungkin sesuai dengan tema hari ini adalah bagaimana kita selaku pelaku UMKM bisa mendapatkan manfaat lebih bukan hanya sebagai indirect benefactor gitu ya, tapi kita yang secara aktif menggunakan AI untuk memajukan bisnis. Mungkin lebih ke sana ya topiknya ya. Nah, kalau saya lihat dari pengalaman Mekari sendiri kan membantu perusahaan untuk melakukan transformasi digital lewat akuntansi, digitalisasi pengelolaan SDM. Tadi kalau di grafiknya Pak Prof Hamam itu yang supporting tadi saya lihat. Jadi mungkin ada beberapa brand yang teman-teman familiar seperti Jurnal, Talenta, Klik Pajak, ataupun Kontak. Nah itu adalah produk-produknya Mekari. Nah pada saat kita dari pengalaman kita mengintroduce software, kita melihat bahwa di Indonesia itu ada satu learning curve di mana pengusaha atau pelaku UMKM itu mulai belajar, oh ternyata dulu saya menggunakan kertas, saya menggunakan spreadsheet atau catatan di mana-mana. Ternyata software itu membantu saya untuk lebih efisien dan efektif. Jadi ada satu learning curve di mana orang mulai belajar menggunakan software dan memanfaatkan digitalisasi tool seperti software, cloud, dan sebagainya. Nah, tetapi proses ini sebenarnya baru berlangsung. Berbeda dengan negara-negara yang lebih maju yang sudah menjalankan digitalisasi 10-20 tahun yang lalu, kita baru menjalani digitalisasi dan secara agresif itu practically pas COVID. Setelah COVID kita baru belajar, oh ternyata bisa ya di digitalize, ternyata bisa ya di automate. Dan baru kita lagi berjalan 4-5 tahun, kita sekarang di UKM kita harus menghadapi satu steep learning curve lagi. Kok sekarang saya baru belajar software, orang-orang udah bicara AI. Dan bahkan dengar-dengar AI akan menjadi platform shift. Dengar-dengar kalau kita baca-baca, software bisa digantikan oleh AI. Wah, gimana nih selaku pelaku UKM, saya lagi belajar software katanya mau diganti lagi. Nah, disinilah perlu menurut saya peran aktif baik kita selaku pelaku UKM maupun pemerintah dan stakeholder terkait untuk memberikan peningkatan kapasitas ataupun peningkatan pemberian awareness dan edukasi, Pak Jo. Jadi bagaimana kita selaku pelaku UKM diberi exposure lebih bahwa sebenarnya software ini seperti apa, bahwa AI itu akan seperti apa dan membantu saya di mana. Jadi itu adalah menurut saya adalah tahap pertama yang diperlukan. Tahap kedua yang menurut saya itu penting dari pengalaman kita di Mekari adalah dulu kita punya idea idealis. Kita membayangkan, wah ChatGPT ya seperti ini ya. Bagaimana kalau kita implement ChatGPT di software kita? Jadi user itu bisa nanya apapun. Jadi Bapak Ibu bisa membayangkan kalau punya software akuntansi, sudah mengisi data di software akuntansi, saya bisa nanya gitu Pak. Hai, misalnya AI, berapa sih profit saya bulan ini? Bagaimana, apa yang harus saya lakukan agar profit saya membaik 2 bulan ke depan? Bagaimana cash flow saya 3 bulan lagi ya? Nah, itu yang pertama kali kita coba. Tetapi ternyata adopsinya sangat rendah di UMKM. Enggak ada yang mau pakai. Di kepala kita membayangkan, wah ini good idea gitu kan. Kalau bisa nanya langsung, kita coba tes, enggak ada yang mau pakai. Ada banyak concern. Saya concern bahwa data saya tidak lengkap. Tadi Bu Simrin ada mention ya, ini sangat tergantung pada kualitas data yang dimasukkan. Ada concern data tidak lengkap. Ada concern yang tadi Bu Nita sempat mention terakhir juga, apakah orang lain jadi tahu kalau saya nanya ini apakah AI kemudian mengekspos informasi ini ke orang lain. Jadi banyak gap tentang apa itu AI, bagaimana AI bisa melakukannya. Akhirnya kita coba ubah approach yang dilakukan di Mekari. Kita pilih yang lebih practical, kita lebih pilih yang lebih accessible bagi banyak orang. Contoh sederhananya begini. Di software accounting, biasanya kalau misalnya kita sudah tutup buku akhir bulan, kita mengenerate financial reports, ya kan? Laporan rugi laba dan sebagainya. Nah, yang dilakukan di Mekari, kita tambahin satu button aja, analisa. Jadi kita sebut analyze using AI. Dia langsung mengenerate satu halaman rangkuman performance bisnis selama sebulan terakhir. Nah, begitu prosesnya lebih tidak terkesan interruptif, adopsinya mulai naik. Terus kita mulai introduce misalnya tadi untuk WhatsApp, sorry kalau sebut merek gitu ya, WhatsApp. Jadi misalnya kita terbiasa menjawab, merespon customer kita. Ini juga tadi sesuai dengan yang Pak Prof Hamam sampaikan bahwa adopsi salah satu di area digitalisasi adalah soal bagaimana saya bisa meningkatkan sales saya. Dan salah satunya lewat channel komunikasi. Di Indonesia kebetulan yang populer WhatsApp. Nah, orang mulai introduce menggunakan WhatsApp untuk for business. Nah, tetapi WhatsApp for business ini kadang kan kita jawabannya mau cepat saja. Kita cuma jawab stoknya ada nggak? Ada, gitu kan? Nah, tetapi kan itu belum tentu meningkatkan sales karena jawaban ada itu tidak membantu saya sebagai customer untuk beli. Nah, di Mekari di produk seperti kontak kita introduce AI response. Jadi AI akan memberi suggestion. Jawabnya baiknya ada. Apakah Bapak Ibu mau order sekarang? Nah, tinggal dia klik, informasi suggestion itu akan masuk ke untuk dipakai oleh users. Nah, kita melihat implementasi yang lebih embedded, yang lebih masuk ke proses kerja sehari-hari mereka, yang tidak seakan-akan belajar hal baru, itu lebih bisa meningkatkan adopsi AI dan membuat orang lebih tidak takut dengan AI itu. Nah, itu beberapa pengalaman kita, Pak Jo.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Suwandi. Menarik sekali. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I switch to English now. Thank you. Really practical lessons learned. Yeah, I guess the issue of trust, awareness, education, and then disruption on the daily routine of entrepreneurs sometimes is something that is not preferable by entrepreneurs. Right. So we have heard from the 4 speakers, their views, their insights. Now I'd like to entertain questions from the floor. I hope you had a chance to cast your questions using the Slido. I hope my AI works behind to give me the clue on the questions. We actually received a couple of questions. Right. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, I accidentally switched off my phone. There's a Pak Julius, sorry, I forgot. Before going into Q&A, Pak Julius was asking if he may say something about what Pak Lutfi mentioned about innovative credit scoring, Pak. So I give you 2 minutes, Pak, to elaborate the ICR. Thank you.
Pak Johari. ketika Pak
Lutfi.
menceritakan masalah inovatif credit scoring, nah, kita sudah bekerja sama dengan OJK untuk melakukan itu. Pertama, kenapa kita memanfaatkan inovatif credit scoring? Kita tahu bahwasannya UMKM menghadapi masalah jika akan pinjam uang. Karena mereka tidak punya kolateral. That's problem. Padahal mereka potensial untuk dipinjamkan. Nah, dalam sehari yang sekarang bisnis untuk meminjam uang itu, perbankan memakai scoring. Ya, scoring dan dilihat skornya berapa, 700, 600, 500 gitu, kurang lebih begitu. Jika tinggi itu diberikan pinjaman. Nah, berdasarkan kita lihat ternyata apa yang dilakukan kita waktu sekarang ini dengan minjam dengan scoring itu data slick yang isinya hanya berdasarkan pembukuan perusahaan, berdasarkan bisnis perusahaan. Tapi ada yang lupa, yang bisnis itu maksudnya salesnya berapa, penjualannya berapa. Namun UMKM tidak punya data-data tersebut. Nah, kita menambah data, bukan data konvensional saja, tapi kita masukkan data alternatif. Apa itu datanya alternatif? Maksudnya data tambahan yang melihat perilaku UMKM. Jadi bukan data-data di ini. Jadi kalau misalnya data-data pinjaman sejarah historicalnya itu sudah pasti hampir sebagian besar UMKM ditolak. Nah, kita tambahkan namanya data yang sehari-hari dipakai untuk melihat perilaku sehari-hari. Yang namanya adalah alternatif credit scoring. Jadi dalam penggunanya selain data bisnis yang kita lihat, kita tambahkan misalnya data PLN, data BPJS, data telco. Nah, itu. Nah, ini yang makanya kita sahabat inovatif scoring. Dan kita sudah melakukan percobaan ketika kita memakai ICS itu adanya kenaikan orang yang UMKM yang terserap sebesar 5%.
Okay.
Dengan NPL yang tetap sama. Nah, itu loh. Jadi ini kelebihannya inovasi scoring sehingga sangat bermanfaat bagi UMKM. Itu dulu.
Thank you, Pak Julius. I think one of the example of the use of big data, Pak, ya, to complement the database that OJK has that allow more access to credit by micro and small enterprise. Thank you. We have received a couple of questions through Slido. These questions I'd like to direct it to Ibu Nita. There is a question from the audience from the floor. What makes women-owned MSMEs special when it comes to AI transformation? Is there any specific issues that is unique for women entrepreneurs when it comes to adoption of AI? Could you comment on that? Apa yang unik mengenai pengusaha perempuan kalau kita bicara adopsi kecerdasan buatan dalam usaha mereka?
Jadi kalau UMKM perempuan itu kan lebih loyal, ya, lebih ulet, ya, mau jadi ibu rumah tangga, mau jadi pengusaha, mau jadi apa, dia akan lebih loyal. Ya, multi talenta, mengurus bapak, mengurus anak, mengurus karyawan semuanya. Nah, yang uniknya adalah dia tahan banting, Pak. Perempuan ini tahan banting. Jadi kalau mau bantu memang kepada perempuan pengusaha aja. Poinnya itu, ya. Nah, ditambah kalau ada AI tadi Pak Suwandi sampaikan, ya, bahwa belum selesai mempelajari platform yang ini sudah ada lagi AI gitu ya Pak ya. Softwarenya belum selesai nih belajarnya. Masih terus kemana-mana saya memberikan pelatihan tentang digital gitu ya. Sekarang udah ada AI. Di mana AI ini sangat berfungsi untuk UMKM. Nah, jadi saya pikir ini adalah yang paling bagus Pak. Tapi kami tentu butuh pelatihan ya. Karena memang sebenarnya yang bertanggung jawab kenapa sampai hari ini UMKM masih gaptek, UMKM belum bisa memakai AI dan sebagainya. Karena itu tanggung jawabnya adalah pemerintah. Stakeholder, satu pemerintah, dua university ya, karena banyak sekali orang-orang pintar di university yang bisa transfer knowledge, dan yang ketiga adalah BUMN dan swasta. Nah, stakeholder ini harus bertanggung jawab terhadap bagaimana UMKM kita mau naik kelas, tidak mau ketinggalan, ya. Nah, jadi inilah 3 stakeholder yang bertanggung jawab. Jadi saya hadir di sini meminta pertanggungjawaban. Begitu, Pak.
Thank you, Bonita. Thank you so much. It's very interesting response. I think the issue of night class, graduating from micro to small, small to medium, and medium to large, have popped up a few times. So I'd like to invite also comment from Pak Julius and also Pak Harvan from IFAME, from CMEA. We have a deputy assistant from CMEA also present with us. So what is the policy or program of government to encourage small micro enterprise to become small enterprise and then medium? Is there any incentive provided by the government, or what is the strategy in general? Would you comment on that, Pak Julius, and then Pak Harvan? Thank you.
The most important that our program yaitu adalah kredit usaha rakyat. Nah, kredit usaha rakyat itu sangat membantu UMKM karena kita memberikan suku bunga hanya 6%. Jika mereka pergi ke market, itu suku bunganya bisa sampai 20 dan 25. Nah, kita memberikan insentif suku bunga tersebut, yaitu UMKM membayar 6%, dan kita dengan program KUR, kita memberikan insentif sebesar 15 kurang 6. Nah, itu yang kita subsidi oleh di APBN. Ini salah satu yang kita lakukan. Yang kedua, kita juga tadi juga membuat inovatif credit scoring. Ini pemerintah buat inovatif scoring yang tadi saya sudah jelaskan. Yang ketiga, kita juga menghubungkan antara pengusaha kecil atau mikro dengan pengusaha besar. Namanya program rantai pasok. Nah, ini Pak Wala, kita sering bekerja sama dengan dalam hal itu agar bisa membantu pengusaha kecil. Dan satu pemikiran bahwasanya kalau bekerja sama dengan mikro, pengusaha besar tidak mendapatkan untung. Nah, itu perlu dipertajam konsepnya. Karena apa? Pengusaha besar bekerja sama dengan kecil, itu dia bisa mendapatkan pasokan yang lebih murah, tenaga kerja lebih murah, dan kita kalau bagi pengusaha kecil, barangnya itu bisa masuk ke perusahaan besarnya. Yaitu yang kurang lebih yang kita kerjakan. Dan berikutnya kita juga melakukan memperbaiki teman-teman dalam berjualan dengan memakai AI. Jadi diharapkan dengan AI ini dia bisa mempromosikan barangnya yang tadinya hanya buka di lapak saja, tapi kita bisa berkomunikasi dengan platform yang mana mereka bisa memasukkan ke sana platformnya. Di antaranya banyak yang platform yang ada di bisnis ini. Kelima, yaitu kita juga membuat kebijakan terkait dengan fasilitasi hukum. kita tahu bahwasannya UMKM kalau berkonfrontasi dengan pengusaha besar pasti kalah, Pak. Pasti kalah pertama karena kemampuan kualitasnya, kemampuan SDM-nya, dan sering tertindas. Nah, itu kita mempunyai fasilitas itu di kantor. Jadi silakan para UMKM yang jika berbisnis tertindas, istilahnya gitu, mereka bisa lapor kita, nanti kita akan mediasi. Jadi itu kurang lebih Pak yang kita lakukan Pak.
Thank you, Pak Julius. May I ask Pak Harvan briefly, Pak, your view and perhaps reflection on the AI on SMEs and also perhaps the perspective from the Coordinating Ministry of Economic Affairs.
Thank you, Pak Johri. I will not talking about technical things because Pak Julius, I think is more than better than to explain on that. I will explain a bit about the framework that government think about this AI development. 3 points, Pak. First, of course, I'm optimistic about the potential of growth resulting from this AI development. But I'm more cautious on the issue of equality and the social impact. The reason is that because, well, usually technology is developed with the aim to increase efficiency. And if you look into the production function, of course, technology is part of the equation. While on the other part of the equation, there is labor. And usually labor is the first component that will be impacted by the innovation. So that's the first thing. And well, if we look into the aggregate output, of course, with the AI, the economy will be improving. But if you look deeper into the employment, for example, there could be some consequences that we need to look into more cautiously and preparing some policy. Of course, ILO often mentioned that there always a trade-off between job loss and job created. But we need to remember that during the Green Revolution, the net impact is the reducing workforce in the agriculture sector. So my prediction is that I more or less will be the same on that issue. The second thing is that this technology, especially on the AI, is exclusive sector. Not many people understand about the issue, and well, I can say this because my son he's in the 3rd year of computer major, and last month he started working as internee in AI based an AI company, Shanghai based, that produce solution to the company. I'm more Linux generation, Pak. So I speak Java, but my son now speak Django. He speaks GitHub. They speaks many other programming language that I could not understand, even with my background. So this loss of translation not only happen among generation, but is more important to be cautious about the possibility of loss of translation between the government and the industry, especially the technology sector, because always the innovation will come faster than the ability of everyone, including the government, to understand the development. And usually with the novelty of this development like AI, there could be potential of issue in the accountability on the transparency of the technology itself. And if we could not have answered to this properly, well, OJK now have a sandbox mechanism. That's actually reflecting the confusion or the inability of government to catch up with the innovation. So that's why we create a sandbox, because that's all that we can do. I mean, and if we look into the history, I mean, in 2005, we start learning about the implementation of algo trading in the financial sector, for example. You might be remember. And at that time, the government all around the world, they pretend to understand they pretend to understand. They create regulation about algo trading without knowing the real mechanism behind the algo trading. And what's the result? We know that in 5 minutes there are billions of market value in the financial sector wiped out because of the wrong execution pressed by one of the operators. So that's the history, and history often repeat itself. So in this AI, again, we need to make sure that the government really understand about the issue, and this kind of forum dialogue will be the best way for us to share knowledge and share experience, or at least to be confused together. So that's also important actually. The third one, when I every morning I drop my son to the station for him to go to his office, and when I exit my house, I saw one old man, maybe around 50 or 60 years old. He's bringing a small box, and he knocked from door to door. And what he offered is battery replacement, battery replacement for hand watch. So can you imagine someone still selling battery replacement door to door? In this kind of technology, we can discuss about a lot of advancement, a lot of efforts to upscaling, to reskilling workers' knowledge, but we need to acknowledge that there will be part of our population that will be left behind, and we cannot do anything about them. This is also part of the policy that needs to be prepared. So some portion of our population, well, whatever program we create to reskilling them, it's not the right answer for them. So this is, I think, not only the problem of Indonesia, but problem of any countries. So with all the 3 points, I think it will lay out the framework of thinking that the government needs to be prepared with regards to the SII development. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Harvan. I think, I'm sorry, I have to close the Q&A session. I know there's some more questions on the Slido, but I think we don't need to address them. Otherwise, we don't have to, the next one for the series, right, with Simrin. So we'll just keep some questions open for the next discussion. But we're going to have each panelist to give the final remark at the end of this, before we close this discussion. But now I'd like to move to our partners, our constituent, to provide the reflection from today's discussion. The first one, I would like to invite Ibu Dewi Huta Barat from Sabur Musi. Ibu Dewi, could you share your reflection, your feedback, comments about the discussion, the forum today? Thank you.
Sini aja, Pak. Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Simrin. Where should I stand? Here? Maybe just here. Is it good? Okay, good morning. I'm here, Dewi Huta Barat. I'm here to represent the one of the labor union in Indonesia, which is Sarbu Musi, Konfederasi Sarbu Musi, Serikat Buruh Muslimin Indonesia is the labor union that is under PBNU, Nahdlatul Ulama. To make it quick, I just gonna read what I have written. Good morning. On the perspective of labor union of K Sarbu Musi, Konfederasi Sarbu Musi, first to note is that Sarbu Musi is one of not so many union that also unite the informal sector, such as drivers or farmers, fishermen, and all kinds of informal sectors. There are, and just to note also, in the MSME, there are quite huge different character on the M, the first M, micro, and the small and medium enterprise, because in the micro itself, which consisted of 98.8% of all business units, there are still layers in it. So then even government recognize it as ultra micro. There are at least 45 million that is categorized as an ultra micro, which is more to the bottom. And then even, I think ILO even also put the category that we used to use it, but I quite surprised when I read the ILO papers and they, oh, not ILO, I think it's McKinsey, I think. They put a nano scale. We used to call ourselves nano scale, you know, not even micro, nano. And in fact, it's used, and it could be just a rough calculation, probably some 25 million business units are nano, which is one of probably the one who selling batteries, you know. So if we calculate 25 million, it means at least 75 million people of Indonesia relying on that scale of business. And if we call it business, probably it's not even a business, you know, it's trying to survive kind of, you know, business. So knowing that, at least when we're talking about the technology or AI, in this case, there are two main things that when we are thinking about the technology, particularly in this discussion, is AI in the informal sector, and thinking about how the technology should help those who works in and for the informal sectors. Probably the one that is working for the formal sectors, a lot of people thinking about them, you know, the regulation, legislations, you know, government always thinking, mostly thinking about the formal sectors workers, but the bigger chunk is actually the informal sectors. First thing is, we need to understand that in the informal sector, mainly, or perhaps all are in the micro scale, ultra micro, or even nano scale of the businesses. In this scale, we cannot apply the dichotomic thinking of the business owners and workers, you know, because when it's about money to earn, probably the business owner sometimes, you know, earning less than the workers, or at least the same. You know, sometimes when we as a micro or ultra micro scale of businesses, when the paycheck day, we are the one who don't have money. Sometimes even we need to borrow money to pay our, you know, assistant or something like that. So when we think about regulations of labor regulations, workers regulations, and talking about compliance to that, we need to be very careful on what kind of regulations that the government actually make, and whether the regulations actually really supporting the development of the micro, ultra micro, and nano scale of businesses, or perhaps giving more burden rather than supporting to grow. This is what government really need to, you know, sit down and thinking more deeper when thinking about how government should regulate one way, and another way is to support the growth of informal sector. Again, 98% of the businesses. Second thing is also on the AI matter, we understand that the informal sector, the micro sector, we as a country, or probably even the world, the global, we need to make them grow. We the one who need to make them grow. Maybe that's why Ibu Nita Yudi was, demanding, was that tadi pertanggungjawaban from the stakeholders. That's what we are going to emphasize also. The effort to make them grow as businesses, to be able to move from the micro scale zone to the middle class zone, what we, the country, people need. So supposedly, the technology, including AI, should be designed as for something that helps them rather than force them to adapt. And when they fail to adapt, will make them even further left behind. So yes, we understand that the technology by nature is forcing people, us as human, to adapt to the technology, because the technology is supposed to be make us, living easier or more efficient, or, tackle more problems. That's supposed to be the idea of the technology, right? But should be on today, because we have this technology that is so advanced that we call it, even we already have an AI. There should be some of the technology that is from the beginning is designed to help those on the bottom of the pyramid, getting more bottom and the bottom and the bottom, not just forcing those to we to adapt. And then if you cannot adapt, then that's it, you behind. We cannot do that, supposedly. So there has to be a technology, there has to be a part of the technology that is built, what we call here today from the morning, Pak Hamam, until now, is human-centered, or probably because of the climate change and all climate crisis, even the environment kind of technology. Just an example, digital technology such as apps for farmers that requires gadget as cool as smartphone and require internet quota will have only certain level of farmers, perhaps more suitable for the landowners or agriculture business owners rather than the millions of smallholder farmers. That's a kind of, the apps is good, no problem with the apps, but the main point here is we need to think about technology that suits with the need of different level of micro scale, ultra scale, and nano scale. The number of these business owners and workers of the informal sector are not less than 50% of Indonesian people. We should help to think what kind of AI, or perhaps less edgy than AI technology, to really help them grow. One last thing is, this is something that I don't know if it is suited to mention here, but one last thing is that we need to be aware of is the biggest question of who actually owns and gets the most of the profit from the technology we have. Because what we fear is, I don't know whether this is true or it's just something that we paranoid about, is that there are technology that already developed to really help the needy, the real smallholders, the actual millions that left behind until today, but the technology somehow being bought by the capital owner only to not allowing the technology being used by the smallholders, and to let only the technology that's supporting the business model of the capital owners to exist. This is something that we from the bottom of the mate sometimes is questioning, because why there is no technology that is for us, for us to grow? Why?
Dewi,
We can see,
1 more minute,
yeah,
please.
1 minute. There is all the brands that is in the slides, all are gigantic capital owners. Half minute. As a global community, AI and technology in general needs to be thinking as for the people to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Dewi. Thank you, Pak Julius. We hope to see you again in the next forum. Now, Right, let's continue and move on. I would like to invite Pak Ronald Tuala to now to give his reflection and comment, please, Pak Ronald.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. My name is Ronald Tuala, and I am here on behalf of the APINDO, the International Library Organization. And thank you. Nice meeting you, Mr. Sim, and the participants. I guess my quick notes, my reflection here is that why we have blockchains, why we have technology, why we have AI and all this is because we have so many problems in life, right? So I guess what's our job in life is not only for physical or materialistic substance, but it also fundamentally to learn and grow and to help others, to contribute what we learn for others. And what normally we learn and grow in this world is for survivalship and to make relationship. I guess that's the main idea of our life. And survivorship, what we do is security, normally security for material matters that we can live properly to live and for our status. Unfortunately, we still need all those material and status. We also need a security to express, meaning that we need to be in a safe environment so that we can to reduce our fear to express ourselves, who we are, without being fear that we are not good enough or we are not being loved enough. And also, I guess it's very important that for us to have to search who we are, but what our soul is, and clarity and alignment, what we need to do. And now, in terms of a relationship, is we still have a lot of barrier, especially in time, in distance to reach other. We still far away from family, for instance, or our loved ones, friends, and so space and dimension is pretty far away for us to reach out. But thanks to technology now, we can reach out through electricity, speed of light, and all that. And so that when we can make we can be more happier, right? And I guess my note on those problems is, I guess we hear a lot about motion is emotion, and emotion creates energy. And I guess from AI now, if we reflect to the layer of data transformation, yeah, from data to information, from information to knowledge, from knowledge to wisdom. I guess we are at still very infant era of technology, of the digital technology. We still at the information era. I myself, I have like about 400 to 500 WhatsApp group. So it's very tiring to to digest what's happening daily. We wake up in the morning and very hectically and panically. Oh, I'm behind like 500 text messages I have to before making up my coffee is still in the bed, and then so it's very tiring. I think we are still a very primitive era of digital era. And so from all that, with the AI will help us to create emotion, what we can do, what we want to do today, day by day. And a lot of problems also in business, licensing, tax, way of doing business, etc. So I guess hopefully AI can help us all with that. And I guess what we need to do is just do it with all of these stakeholders here. Very nice to meeting you all. And we have the SME. We always need support from the pentahelix aspect factors, the academics, from the government, from the media, from the private sectors, association, and all that. So all this will build a big data. And two things that we need to do is one, to filter which one is positively can be impactful to us, and the other one is be aware of which one is very can be negatively impactful. And so, yeah, I think that's come to the future risk management of working with AI. When the data is not solid, is not valid, is not it's not valid, then can be distracting. And so our job together is to make AI more responsible and positively impactful through together with this pentahelix stakeholders to improve our humanity, live and grow together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pak Ronald. Now we've reached the end of our forum today. If I may please ask the statement from Professor Hamman to be shown on the screen again as I try to share some of the key takeaway messages from the discussion today. And I thank my colleagues to prepare this one. The first one is from the discussion, we've learned that the government plays very important role both in framing the whole policies and also direction of the national AI adoption for SMEs in Indonesia. There's need to be a discussion, conversation between various stakeholders in how to promote and foster the adoption of AI among SMEs in Indonesia. Secondly, always mention about the need for training, need for awareness and trust building of how to adopt AI by SMEs. We have to realize that the term MSME is actually heavy on the micro. So there are many micro and small and medium enterprises. And these micro enterprises, they have a different needs and different learning journey when it comes to adapting AI. So there needs to be patient, needs to be hand-holding process required. And probably this also takes time. But it doesn't mean that the postulate that is behind me is wrong. It's just that it's a journey, not the end objective. The third one is about regulation. I think regulation is important, as Lutfi mentioned, and also Pak Suwandi also allude to that regulation is important. Regulation needs to be conducive, but also provide protection, right, for the users from the micro SME entrepreneurs as well. And last but not least is the issue of infrastructure, and both on terms of physical infrastructure, also the knowledge, access to knowledge is considered as infrastructure in digital era. I think those are the few key takeaway points that I can share with you. With that, let's give the panelists, the speaker, a bigger round of applause. Thank you so much, Ibu Nita, Pak Lutfi, Pak Suwandi, and Pak Julius. With that, before I end, I also like to apologize if there is any kekurangan dan kesalahan. So I'll close with wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and I'll give it back to the MC. Thank you so much.
Terima kasih banyak Pak Jo. Kami mohon kepada para panelis untuk tetap ada di atas panggung. We would like to invite Ibu Simrin Singh to give a token of appreciation to our three panelists. Pak Julius has to leave because he has a meeting with the minister today. So Ibu Simrin, we would like you to present token of appreciation to the panelists. Firstly, to Ibu Diah Anita Prihapsari, Chairwoman of the Indonesian Businesswomen Association, IWAPI. Thank you very much, Ibu Anita, for the contribution to our AI forum today. Okay, the second one is to give to Pak Lutfi Al-Khatiri, Executive Analyst, Digital Finance Innovation Group, Indonesia Financial Services Authority, OJK. Terima kasih banyak Pak Lutfi atas partisipasinya. And then the last one, we would like to give it to Bapak Suwandiso, CEO of Makari, leveraging AI to optimize the MSME. Thank you very much, Pak Suwandi. Okay, we would like to thank all the panelists and the moderator for the discussion of today. We would like to request everybody to return to their seat. Oh, picture first. Sure. Ibu Simrin would like to join them? Yes, please. Pak Wala dan Ibu Dewi boleh ikut juga ke atas. Silakan. Kami persilakan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are the panelists and the commentator for our discussion today. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We may invite you to return to your seat. Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have now concluded our event for today. On behalf of the whole committee, we would like to thank you for your attendance and participation on the ILO National Forum on Transforming Indonesia MSMEs with AI, Innovations, Strategies, and Insight. We wish to see you again in the next ILO AI Forum in the next 2.5 months or probably 3 months. Thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch. Have a great day. Mohon diinformasikan kepada Bapak Ibu apabila memerlukan presentasi yang tadi, paparan yang tadi diberikan oleh para panelis, silakan men-scan barcode yang tersedia. Boleh men-scan barcode-nya, kami tempelkan juga di dinding, di beberapa dinding untuk memudahkan. Perlu kami ingatkan pula untuk meninggalkan interpretation device di kursi Anda. Sekali lagi kami sampaikan banyak terima kasih atas partisipasi Bapak Ibu sekalian. Kami mengundang kembali insya Allah di AI Forum berikutnya, sekitar bulan November.
Kita panjatkan
Segera menempati tempat yang telah disediakan, akan segera kita
Cek, cek, cek. Cek, 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 cek. Cek satu. Selamat siang kepada Bapak Ibu peserta. Mohon maaf yang belum mengembalikan alat penerjemah, ditunggu di meja panitia. Terima kasih.